All right, so you guys know that I've been in a pretty decent mood for the past couple of days. I've been doing a lot of positive videos and, expressing and sharing my love for black women. And I did the tribute to Aaliyah because her birthday is now today on the 16th. But I came across a video as I was watching YouTube with my wife. We just happened to watch a couple of videos while we were in bed. And we came across this video where these African women were being asked by another African woman if they can date white men. And many of the responses was a yes, and there were some that said no, they would never bother with white men because they don't believe in dating the colonizer, especially the way they are now because of the racism they're seeing around the world, plus in South Africa. So, I could respect those sisters for that. But the ones that did say they would date white guys, they actually said they would date white guys for the most foolish reasons I've ever heard of. They want to date white men because they think white men are nice. They think white men are more intelligent. They think white men are more romantic. And they also said that white men are honest. I had to laugh when I heard that because these people are not honest at all. Not majority of them are not honest. Look at Donald Trump. He's not honest at all. He likes to lie about things to get his way, and he still hasn't gotten his way. But I can just see that a lot of our sisters in the continent are very very delusional about their thoughts on these white men. Well, these white men have really got them, seriously, mind fucked. So when I see stuff like that, it just makes me shake my head. It angers me because I don't like it at all. I don't like the fact that we have people in our community, black men and black women alike, that are falling for this bullshit. As I said before, and many of you already know, you have the right to date everybody you want because it's your priority, it's your life. But I just don't understand why we see these people as potential partners when they are the ones who are perpetrating all this hatred majority of the time. Are there some hateful black people? Yes, but when it comes to oppressing people, when it comes to lying to people and deceiving people, these people do it more than anybody else in the world. And as I said before in many videos that I've done, I'm not saying this to get people to hate white people because I don't hate white people. I'm just simply making observations and telling you exactly what I see, and others see this as well. This is not just me saying this. This isn't me saying this on this video, but other people have spoken and said the same thing because it's true. There's always an agenda against black love. There's always an agenda to make black men look weak. They don't have the typical strong black man anymore they used to have back in the day. I've seen things change. I've been on this earth since 1979. I've seen the way things used to be on television, and I see the way things are on television now. I've seen black men in my life that will die for black women, and I still see them today. But unfortunately, there are actually a group of black men now who don't give a damn about black women and will do everything they can to discredit them, to degrade them, and tell the entire world that they don't have any love for black women, but they have love for white women and every other woman who's not black. And I can't believe I'm seeing that in this day and age as well. I can't believe I'm seeing swirling movements where we're having, groups of black women getting on board and going with men that don't look like them and having children that will never look like them or identify with them. It's pathetic, and it's actually really sad to me at this point that we have things that are like that are still going on in this world. And a lot of it has to do with this bullshit back and forth that black men are having with black women. But as I said, there are white men going back and forth with white women as well. They're having their problems with feminism and SJWs, and they're having their MGTOW movements and stuff as well. So you can miss me with the white man is doing this better and the white woman is doing this better because they're still having their problems in their own community as well. So you need to understand and acknowledge that as well. But it's just sad to me, especially from the motherland, when we have, so many of us living amongst each other where we are looking outside. Well, I'm going to put it this way. There's not a majority of people over there looking outside their community because the majority of them want to be with each other. The majority of them know that they will not be able to identify with a white person or a non-black person because of their culture. They're willing to give like American black people a chance as their potential partners, but the majority of them like to marry within their culture, within their own tribes and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I could say about the African continent, whether it be Zimbabwe, whether it be Mozambique, whether it be Nigeria, South Africa. Many of the Africans over there want to marry each other. But there are some, just like the idiots over here in America, who want to step outside the box and get with people that don't look like them and have children and blended families that do not look like anything of the traditional black family at all. And I'm not going to fault people for that because, like I said, that's their choice. But It's not in my life. It's never going to be part of my life. I'm never going to have anything interracial, anything part of my life. Movies that I used to watch when I was younger that had interracial agendas and interracial marriages in it, I no longer watch those shows. I no longer watch Jungle Fever. I no longer watch television shows, or even soap operas anymore like I used to, because nothing but interracial agendas being pushed in that. And I've told people before, and some people think that I'm hateful. You could think whatever the fuck you want to, because I know damn well I'm not hateful at all. I don't go out there and say I hate people for the color of their skin. But me personally, as I've told many of you before, I don't have respect for any black woman or black man that dates outside their community, because if you have to seriously look outside of your community to find happiness, something is wrong with you. Because there are plenty of black women on this earth that can make a black man happy, and there are plenty of black men out here that are not practicing these hateful, mindsets like these men are on YouTube. So you need to understand and stop looking at them as your, go-to guy for the black men in the black male community. It's just not true. And people don't want to understand it. They want to just tell me excuses about how, oh, this black man ain't shit. This black man is like this. All black men do this. No. You don't want us to say that all black women do this, so you shouldn't be saying all black men do that, because it's not true. It's not a true statement. It isn't. It just ain't. What about the black men that are out there actually busting their ass for their families and doing what they can to, provide for their women and their children? I mean, you can't discredit them like that. So I'm not going to let you do that. And I'm not going to let black men discredit the black women out there that are single mothers that are actually doing for their families, doing for themselves, doing for their child, because they was left behind by the man that didn't want to take responsibility. I'm not going to allow that narrative. It does make me mad when I hear black men prop up these women who are not black. It does. And it makes me equally angry when a black woman is willing to choose a white man over a black man. 9 times out of 10, what happens is they choose these men, and these men wind up destroying their lives, wind up using them just for sex, and then, leaving them to the curb like garbage. You've seen what these Chinese men have done to these African women, getting them pregnant and then going back to their own countries, while the black woman in Africa is having to fend for herself with this child that Asian man should have been taken care of. Asian men have done it to them, Germans, Russians, these English men have been done to them as well. The black man is not a demon. He's not the only man that's done you wrong. These men do it as well, but many black women seem to overlook that fact and look at the black man like he is the monster, just like they've done with the R. Kelly thing. Want to make R. Kelly the face of pedophilia, but you have numerous white men that have done a hell of a lot worse than him, that have not had documentaries done on them. I've mentioned Roman Polanski a number of times already. He went to another country because he knew if he stayed here, he would go to jail because he was having relations and sex with a minor. Okay? We've got history of men out there who are white who had sexual relationships with children, who murdered children. Okay? So I don't want to hear about the black man is the demon in this world, because it's bullshit. We have done wrong, but many other men from other communities have done wrong as well. And we need to understand that and accept that and stop making excuses for them and none for the black man. Okay? I make excuses for no one, to tell you the truth. If you're a pedophile, you're not getting any praise from me. You're not getting any excuses from me, because I don't believe in any man at all, regardless of the color of his skin, messing around with a child. That's disgusting that you even have that kind of a mindset. Okay? And we've seen the majority of people have been caught on To Catch a Predator, and they're not black. Okay? There have been some black men on there, but the majority, you've seen who they are. I'm not going to go any further than that. But when I see videos like this, when I constantly will see a black woman or a black man ask other black people, is it okay for him to date white? I'm trying to figure out, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why is it important? Because it's not important. That's not helping to preserve the black race. That's not helping to end racism. This has been said time and time again, but I'm going to use it as well. When has having sex with white people ever stopped racism? Oh, that's right, it hasn't, because racism still exists no matter what. So I don't understand why people that get into relationships with these people think that all of a sudden, because they're with this particular white man or this particular white woman, that it's all of a sudden racism is going to end. It's not going to end. All you are doing is allowing it to continue because you're saying that you're weaker than these people, you're inferior to them, and being selected by them makes you feel like you have gained something, like you are hitting the jackpot. And I made a video on my other channel, and I'm going to speak very briefly about it here. I said, and I told my wife this is not me being hateful. So once again, say what you want about me, but I'm not saying anything hateful in this video. I'm saying actual reality here. You don't want to, face. But I told my wife when I first saw her that, I asked her, I said, do you have a dating history? I asked like a dating history basically. So I said, you haven't, had any, relationships with white men, have you? And she told me no. She said, I don't believe in dating white men because I don't believe in dating the colonizer. He wouldn't understand me. He wouldn't be able to identify with my culture, which I have come to really respect and understand her culture a lot, even though I'm not from her background. She said that white men would not be able to understand that. And they would not be able to identify and understand what she goes through as a black African woman. Okay? So she never had an inkling for white men. White men have wanted to be with her before, because I told you, my wife, and I can't show you her picture because of obvious reasons, but my wife actually does look like a model. She does. She's 37 years old now, but she actually still looks young, and she looks like a model. She has beautiful skin and everything. And a lot of people tell me that I'm very lucky, and I know I am. I like to show pictures off of my wife when I'm at work and stuff like that, and they're like, she's a model. There's no way you would. I'm like, yeah, that's my wife, seriously. So she doesn't have that mindset like most of these black women do in America and some in these African, regions over there that want to be with white men. She's just not about it. And my whole thing, when I'm getting back to my point, is if she had a history of being with white men, I would not be with her, because I can't be with any black woman that allowed a white man to lay down in bed with them. I'm going to be very respectful when I say this. And there are many white men out there that will not want to have a relationship, sexual or otherwise, with white women that have allowed black men to lay down with them. And I'm not doing this because white men are doing it. I'm doing it because that's just how I believe. See, I used to be of the mindset where, love is love like that, but I don't believe in that anymore. Especially when I'm seeing so much racism in this world as it's been perpetrated by these people more than anybody else. There was no way that I would endorse interracial dating, especially with these types of people at all. And I'm not going to raise my daughter or my son to be hateful at all. I'm going to raise my daughter or my son, whichever one God decides to grant me with, even if it's both, to love themselves enough that they will be going out to search and seek another partner that looks just like them, just like mommy and daddy, not going outside the community. If they go outside the community, I have to accept that, as much as I don't want to, because that's my child. I'm not going to give, hatred towards my child because of who they picked. But I have faith in myself that me and my wife will instill the values of black identity and black love within our children, that they will go and seek another black person to live with and spend the rest of their lives with and procreate with. I just have that, in me. I have that belief in me. So, like I said, I'm closing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't understand why many of us still make these videos where we care if white people like us or not, if we can date white people or not. If you're going to date a white person, then go ahead and date it. But I'm getting sick and tired of seeing black people broadcast this shit to the entire world, because it makes us look very bad. I don't see Asian people doing it. I don't see anybody else doing it but us. And I've said it before. You've heard it before. You know by now that we're the only people out there that endorse this interracial dating and embrace it so much like it's the best thing that's ever happened. And it's not. It's really not. I don't see the attraction to white women. I will say, like I've said before, that there are some beautiful white women out there. But as far as me laying down in bed with them, having a relationship with, I can't do it. I just can't. And it's not because of the hardships that I'll face. I don't give a fuck about that. I face hardships every day as a black man. So what the fuck do I care about facing hardship being with someone who's not looking like me? I just don't have any purpose or any inkling to want to date a white woman or be with one. I just don't. It's not in me to do it. And as I said before, I don't see how brothers out there can pick any woman over their own, because there are too many gorgeous, sexy, beautiful black women out there. And I just don't see how I would want to step over them to get to a white woman or a non-black woman. I just can't do it. It's just not in my blood. Same thing goes for a black woman picking white men over black men. Most of them don't really want white men, but they'll do it for the money, or they'll do it because they're tired of black men treating them a certain way. And I understand that, but at the same time, it's excuses. At the same time, it's excuses. So, that's why I surround myself with people that think like me, that just want to have black love, black unity, want to have our communities, prosper, and want our children to be safe, because even they're being targeted by hatred and stuff like that. And we need to make sure we protect them. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all about black love. Black love is here to stay. No matter how many people I see that want to go into the sunken place willingly, I'm still going to preach black love, because that's what I'm about. And that's what I'm always going to be about. I love you people very much, and I will always love you. My message is not about hatred. My message is about spreading love between black men and black women, and that's all I'm ever going to do. This is a no swirl zone. I'll talk to you next time.